You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat. Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us. We want to make them pass the strongest civil rights bill they know. Even after they pass it, they can't enforce it. Do this, we're starting a voters registration drive. We have to get everybody in Harlem registered, not as Democrats or Republicans, but registered as independents. If you don't have the sense of responsibility to get registered, we'll move you out of town. It's going to be the ballot or the bullet. You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat.
You are listening to the Second to None podcast with DJB, where truth meets rhythm and conversation builds the bridge between worlds. If this is your first time tuning in, hit that subscribe button and join the movement that keeps real talk alive. People, especially black people born in America, the descendants of those whose roots are deep in this soil, we need to talk. California, we just watched Governor Gavin Newsom veto 5 bills on reparations. Now that hits different, doesn't it? Just like in Malcolm X's era, the streets feel turbulent again. He looked at the chaos and said what we're still feeling. It's got to be the ballot or the bullet. Fast forward to now, and people are killing over politics, over pride, over clout, choosing the bullet instead of the ballot. But the most powerful weapon we have is the ballot. If we use that, we don't ever need the bullet. It took me years to understand that I'm the one meant to spread this message because my people are dying from a lack of knowledge. Don't tell me there's no money for reparations while my tax dollars are flying overseas to causes that don't include us. You can't look me or my people in the face and say there's no money when the money flows everywhere else. Those of us who know our history, especially the ones over 40, understand exactly what that means. We remember the Freedmen's Bureau and how promises were broken. We remember 40 acres and a mule and what was stolen through Jim Crow, redlining, and deceit. We know this country owes a debt. So when Newsom vetoes 5 bills on reparations, understand, your greatest power sits at the ballot box. That's where your leverage lives. And I'm telling you, I'll be at every poll I can, bringing family with me, bringing energy with me, to remind people that voting is warfare to mind. Those who fought for that right knew its worth. That's why the system counted you as 1/3 of a person to keep your power down. The fight never stopped. It just changed shape. If you're an artist, influencer, or entertainer, and you're not using your platform to wake the people up, to get them to the polls, then you're missing your calling. You can't claim to love your people if you won't lead them towards power. And if you're not on that energy, then step aside, because the next generation is coming, and they won't play by the old rules. See, my son's generation doesn't think like mine. They weren't taught what reparations mean, or what was promised, or why it matters. They were told they don't need help, that they can make it on their own. But that debt is still owed, and justice still due. You can't owe me and pay someone else, not while pretending I'm whole. We have to start local, city by city, district by district. Most of the national power brokers began as local politicians, and we voted them in. That means we can vote them out. Stop letting leadership that doesn't serve you speak for you. Too many so-called representatives have taken money from lobbyists and PACs, sold out to people, and party with those who profit from your pain. Then they get blackmailed and go silent while you stay struggling. Wake up to that. I am because I am. And I'm here because silence is no longer an option. My people are dying for lack of knowledge, and the time to act is now. We've been pacified, fed junk food for the body and junk information for the mind. That combination numbs us. It's turned too many of us into consumers instead of creators, into gossipers instead of thinkers. We wait till the last minute. We take shortcuts. We rent instead of own, lease instead of build, and call that progress. But that's not freedom. That's dependency dressed up as convenience. Many of us are glorified homeless, living in houses we don't own, chasing a dream on a 30-year note that outlives us. We brag on what we borrow. Meanwhile, our wealth has shrunk since emancipation. We don't own the land, the banks, or the media that shape our image. And we wonder why the narrative never favors us. It's time to fight with your mind, not your muscle. With your ballot, not your bullet. Use strategy, not anger. Organize locally. Show up at city hall meetings. Know who your mayor is. Know your council members. If they don't represent your neighborhood, your culture, your truth, then vote them out. If you're 30, 40, 50, and you don't know the names of the people making decisions about your taxes, schools, and streets, it's time to learn. That's where power begins, at home. Be angry, but channel that anger. Don't waste it behind bars. Don't let them turn your pain into their profit. Instead, build think tanks, real ones, where we plan, fund, and execute ideas together. That's how every other community wins. We need collective action, not just emotion. And we need to own our data, our media, our message, because the people who own the media own the narrative. That's why our entertainers can't speak freely, because they don't control the mic they speak into. Real power is ownership of thought, of message, of representation. And until we claim that, we just reacting to someone else's story. So here's what I need from you. Test everything. Question everyone. Don't just take what's handed to you. Analyze it, challenge it, verify it. Because here at the Second to None podcast, we're not here to echo the noise. We're here to amplify the truth. The ballot or the bullet? Choose the ballot. Today's show is brought to you by They Source, the natural wellness marketplace for sea moss, detoxes, and holistic products that power your mind and body. Want to sponsor a future episode of the Second to None podcast? We're now inviting partners who believe in conscious conversation and community empowerment. Sponsorship starts at $150 for a mid-roll mention, $250 for a full episode feature, and $400 for a month-long placement across YouTube and all podcast platforms. Visit secondtononepodcast.com or email sponsor@secondtononepodcast.com to join a network where your brand aligns with real voices and real people. Thanks for listening to The Ballot or the Bullet on the Second to None podcast with DJB. If this message moved you, share it, like it, and subscribe, because the conversation doesn't end here. It continues with you. You've been listening to the Second to None podcast with DJB.
Every time they look over their shoulder,